What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where we hang out at the end of a long week, the start of a lovely weekend, after we should have thought about at least going to bed, and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures we've accumulated over the years that need painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So we're just trying to stave off death for as long as we possibly can. And I do not do this alone. Joining me on the line, my perennial painting partner and our resident monkey handler, it's Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be here.
Me too. We've had to once again take a couple of weeks off due to this, that, and the other thing, but that's okay. I think our skills improve every time we take a week off, maybe. I don't know. Who's to say? I've got a couple things to talk about tonight, and obviously we've got miniatures to work on, so let's not waste any time. As with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone, and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Let's paint. I have the Prowler, which is where we left off last time.
And I have moved on to Mother Talzin from the Night Sisters.
Which I presume is some Star Wars thing I'm unaware of.
Have you seen the Ahsoka?
Nope.
Okay. And you haven't really watched Clone Wars, I believe, right?
Nope.
Yeah, that's prominently where they were featured.
I call myself a Star Wars fan. I am a Star Wars fan, and yet there's so many things that I just haven't seen, and I'm unlikely to. Like, honestly, with the kid, I'm lucky I can watch TV at all. I don't know why. I guess
understandable.
It's really that, cartoons have a bizarre tendency to put me to sleep, which is why I never watched the Star Wars animated shows.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just kind of became pervasive, I guess. Or in a few years' time, we can go on that journey together. That is also an option. I mean, there's a world in which my daughter finds a love for Star Wars, and I'm not going to force it on her. That's not my jam. But it'd be kind of interesting to enjoy that sort of thing together. Oh, what am I doing? I'm working on Prowler, Hobie Brown Prowler. I am, however, finally finding time to watch Season 3 of Only Murders in the Building, which is great. And, of course, we have our regular video game streaming time. Thank you to RPD in the chat here for an awesome game that I just finished. Broody, you should really play it. It's Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
Nice.
It's hilarious. A lot of fun. And I did, a full voice acting playthrough of it, because that's just how I approach things, I guess. It was really good and just genuinely a lot of fun. So, strong recommend of that game. Again, thank you to RPD for suggesting it. Man, color matching this is a bear. I did finally get my brush rinser working.
Nice.
Yeah. Turns out I just have to be very, careful balancing it. So, I gotta go blue-gray for the blue parts. That's most of what I've got here, so let's just go for that. I got this Finlusion gray. I think that's too light, though. Alphaoc blue. Maybe. Just add some gray to this. Music's too loud? Oh, that's because... I know why that is. I know why that is. Yeah. That is because I turned it up so I could do something else. That should fix it. Oh dear. I guess I don't have the Alteoc gray. Or Alteoc blue. Hold on. Green Stuff World recently dropped another what do they call it? Mega paint set that I super want.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Metallics set.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks really rad, and I want one.
Metallics are awesome.
Yeah. Well, we've seen what the color shift paints do on the show a couple times. They did the Mysterio helmet back in the day that came out really dope. And the Sentinel stuff, and I just got in a bunch of Sentinels. So, obviously, gonna want to do them with metallics. Keep this pretty basic here. A bit of gray. Hammer of Dawnstone. Is this paint any good still? No, it's not. Of course not. Why would it be? And once again, we're into that perennial problem with GW paints where they just go bad on you. Why is there a roll of electrical tape here? And there's also a thing that Oh, did this ever dry? Good. Ah!
Don't hurt yourself.
No, it's just Jean Grey falling off a thing. It's okay. Nothing to worry about. Everything is fine. Grays. That is white. Nope, that's color shift. Here we go. We'll try it. Huh. Hopefully that's enough. We shall see. Well, that may not have been dark enough. I gotta go darker. Dang. That's a nuisance.
Use so much red on this.
Boy, gray is just overpowering sometimes. Marvel as I spend the first 11 minutes trying to mix paint.
Hoping that it doesn't dry.
Oh, I'm on a wet palette, I'm fine. I think I've got it. Alright, cool. Happy with that. RPD says he's starting a Christmas build for the year. Needs to rewatch the movie in question. It's Riff Tracks. Christmas will be Jack Frost. An alert from somewhere. No idea where or why or what. So I have been working my way through Metroid Prime. Finally, I'm almost done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Very much so. I know I was a little harsh on it when it first dropped for Switch because it just wasn't Super Metroid, but no, it's a really good game. I really do enjoy it. There's a strange sense of claustrophobia, but I think that contributes to the impact of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're meant to feel isolated.
Yeah.
And I think the helmet, like being inside Samus's helmet, really goes a long way to provide that feel. Your range of vision is severely limited. But also as you collect power-ups, you are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming up on the Phazon suit, and I'm just like, oh man, I know this is big.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I haven't really. I started a little bit and got to the planet, but I never really advanced on Prime.
Yeah.
Since then for the Switch.
How did you play it on?
I played it on GameCube originally. Yeah.
I did not. So this is my first experience with it. And as, a pretty much diehard SM fan with a dab of Fusion and a dab of Dread, it just isn't the Metroid experience that I want, but that's not in any way to say that it's bad, because it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But I set a goal for myself. I said I'm going to finish Primetroid before I play anything else on Switch. So I've got Super Mario Wonder waiting in the wings.
I got to play a demo of that today.
Yeah?
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
That is...
I think I mentioned on Discord, a coworker of mine, her husband, is a senior rep for Nintendo.
One of my students is a rep for Nintendo now, too. One of my
Really?
former students, yeah.
So he was running a demo at a GameStop today, so I swung by and got a bunch of swag and got to try out Mario Wonder.
That's awesome. One of my current students the other day made reference to the fact that teachers aren't supposed to don't have favorite students, and her friend goes, "What are you talking about? You're Mr. D's favorite student." And I was like, no, that's categorically wrong. And she goes, "Okay, really? You're gonna play the teachers don't have favorites card?" I'm like, "No, my favorite student graduated 13 years ago. He's now an engineer in Manchester." And they were like, "Oh." It was a strange exchange.
Yeah. Oh, come back here.
Don't lose things. But yeah, it's been really good to, just to say, okay, when my wife goes to bed, I'm going to play Primetroid until 30 minutes before bedtime, and then put it down and read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just really nice to have that little bit of routine. And I'm currently reading The Hound of the Baskervilles. Classic Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
And I'm absolutely loving it. It's about the 5th or 6th time I've read the book. so I remember a lot of it. Although I just recently read a pastiche novel called The Beast of the Stapletons, which is sort of it is a direct sequel to The Hound of the Baskervilles. And I keep getting details confused.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny. I'm listening to a book called The Man Who Died Twice, which is a RPD. You'll appreciate this. It's written by Richard Osman, who is a regular panel show guest. And he is a brilliantly funny TV writer, primarily. Competitor on season 2 of Taskmaster. Which I'm excited. They just announced the date for the Taskmaster New Year's episode.
Let me guess, is it New Year's?
No, it's actually January 2nd. It's the day I go back to school, which is quite nice. Yes, that's true. He's also a panel show producer. I don't recognize anybody on the New Year's Treat roster. They always, for the New Year's Treat, they always get like public personas rather than comedians. So like they'll get news anchors and people who they know can be funny but like don't necessarily get the chance to with any kind of regularity. So it's always good. It's always worth. Whoops. My school had their book fair this past week.
Well, that's fun.
No, it was an unmitigated disaster, actually.
Was it you? What happened?
So book fairs are traditionally done by Scholastic, right? And they're from the teacher perspective, they're a nuisance anyway, because they just eat up valuable education, like academic time. But this time, because our school is so small, Scholastic was like, okay, you don't qualify to have the big rolling steel cabinets. We're just going to send you a few cardboard boxes and you can put them out however you like. And we're like, okay, fine. Whatever. Then they were like, oh, you also don't qualify to have a cash register. And we're like, excuse me? And they're like, it's fine. Just do it like a garage sale. And I was like, no? And they were like, what's wrong with that? And I was like, now we're liable for all these books. Without a cash register to keep track of them, we could ship back what we don't sell. And you could be like, oh, we sent you this, and this, and you didn't send that back. So you owe us X number of dollars. And they were like, well, we won't do that. I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't know who you are. You are random phone voice. And so I called my lawyer. And he was like, yeah, don't do that thing. That's a terrible idea. And they were like, okay, well, here's an online portal so you can at least run credit cards. And we're like, no, we're not storing the town's worth of credit cards in our personal or in our dedicated teacher laptops. Sorry, that's not an option. And they were like, I don't understand what's wrong with that. And we were like, our lawyer told us not to do it. And she was like, oh, well, but our lawyer says it's fine. And I'm like, well, clearly your lawyer doesn't know a thing about education law. So, yeah, it was a war. We were at war with Scholastic all week. And I think we're done with them. Instead of going through a company like that, we're going to try and build a book sale or book fair from the ground up with a local bookseller. Which honestly just seems like a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the school doesn't need anything. Like, we don't need to take credit or anything like that. Like, we don't need a cut of the book fair. The object is to get books into kids' hands. So, yeah. So we're just like, oh, well, wouldn't it be better to just contract with a local bookseller? Then the kids get books, local bookseller gets, or bookseller gets, highlighted, and everybody goes home happy. Like, that just seems good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna call an audible over to GW Paint for a minute because I have a couple of colors that I'm excited about. Where was that? Invasion Gray. I mean, RPD, you know I'm not streaming Christmas Day, obviously, right? Like, that's not a thing.
You're not?
Yeah, and then it's Christmas Day, then New Year's Day. New Year's Day probably. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. New Year's Day doesn't do anything for me, and I go back to work the next day, so it's like, what the hell am I going to do anyway? Oh, why am I using that? I have a brush flusher. I can actually see my brush getting clean.
Use your technology.
Use your illusion. Oh, also, I found out the coolest, most hilarious thing today.
What's that?
So, there was a mistake at my wife's work that revealed to us the best possible pharmacist name.
Yeah?
Thong Dong. There is a dude named Thong Dong out there.
That's great.
Right?
Unfortunate for him.
Oh, yeah. I want to meet that person's parents. I mean, presumably they are not from around here.
Yeah.
But that made me laugh.
Okay. Enough of Crusted Sore.
What was that?
Enough of Crusted Sore, which was like the really dark red that I used for the base.
Oh. My dad was asking about paint the other day. He was like, my dad can't get it through his head that colors are digital now and have been for some amount of time at least, because he's always asking about, like, do various paint companies have patents on their colors? And my answer is no. Like, you can't patent a color because they're all numbers. You can't patent a number. And so he was asking, like, why do we buy paints from so many companies? And the answer is it's a chemical thing. Like, we're looking for different viscosities. We're looking for different flow rate and all kinds of other stuff. Like, I use primarily 4 companies, but I use them for wildly different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that once Colossus dried, the purple of the Sentinel that he was holding above him reflected in the silver that I was using.
That's cool.
Which is exceedingly rare for paint. That's not like specifically metallics. And that is just the generic, like the basic, effectively the lead belcher of TT Combat. So big shout out to TT Combat for just genuinely creating an awesome product for us. Us being the miniature painting community in general.
Not us particular.
Well, I mean me, but...
I was talking about it like they didn't make it specifically for you.
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, more about the metallics set that GSW is just announced. It was teased on the box for the effects paint that I picked up, which I really like. And I was like, man, I hope this is affordable. It's like $98, and I'm like, man, I can't afford that right now. Like,
yeah.
I get that it's 48 paints, and that's actually a very reasonable price. Like, if you were looking at GW prices, you're looking at over $100 more.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, you know, I'll get this. I'll certainly get this eventually. But I got to talk to the Baboon because, like, a lot of it I already have. So I made a mistake with the base coat of this, and I made it a little too bright. So I'm having to go a couple extra shades brighter on the highlight to sort of make that, to dull it out, basically. It seems to be working. I'm not disappointed by this, but... it's a little odd. Capes are so weird to paint. Like, they're super hit or miss. Like, my Thor cape came out really, really well. This one's coming out all right. But, like, some of them just look like dog dirt.
Yep. And sometimes you have capes like this that are just everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Adam was talking the other day about, you know, we've seen a lot of sculpts for Batman, and none of them have looked right because the sculptors all go way too hard on the cape.
Yeah.
I think he's right. Like, I don't have a Batman handy right now, but... like, yeah, Batman has a cape, but, like, there's no need to overdo it. All right, I think that's it for the blue. Pretty simple, but I'm happy with it. I seem to have changed my mind. RPD, did you see the news that the next episode of the Grand Tour is going to be the last? I gotta be honest, I'm not actually as sad about it as I thought I would be. Yeah, James May announced it the other day. Alright, now I gotta mix up some green. Why did I do that? Stop using the gross water. I'm so used to using the water on that side. It's become a problem. Alright, green. What we got? Is that the right one? Not quite. Is it this one? Ooh, hello. Give it a try. It has been a good run. And the fact that all three are doing other things now too is like, Clarkson's Farm is awesome. I love that show. James May, Our Man In has been really fun. A little travel log situation. And I haven't watched Hammond's show, but his show with Tori Belleci from Mythbusters was awesome. Broody, did you see that one?
Mm-mm.
It was really, really, really good. It was Richard Hammond and Tori Belleci stranded on a desert island. And they had to get off. Or just survive with each other. Which, as I'm sure you'll imagine, was not easy. Literally right in front of me, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that'll do it. Yep, okay.
This is definitely one of the minis where painting pre-assembly would have probably been the better option.
Yeah. I feel like we run into that a lot.
I do.
Like, it's... For the purposes of doing what we do, it makes sense to assemble them ahead of time, because, like, trying to paint on the sprue or in pieces is just a nightmare on camera. But, like,
Oh, yeah.
You're absolutely right. There's definitely certain situations where it's just, oh, I should have just painted this before. Which is, I mean... Oh, hey, Blink. Yeah, it is kombucha time. Peach Paradise tonight. GT's Kombucha, not a sponsor, but Dave, let's talk. Hold on, the Eldritch... What? So I have a concept of a character I'm surprised I haven't seen done before. The Eldritch Horror cult equivalent of a televangelist. Oh no. That actually is a really good concept for a Sentinel Comics character. Or Sentinel Comics RPG, sorry. I feel like it's the evolution of Soothsayer Carmichael, though.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that myself. Very very much like the Idolater almost.
Idolater, yeah. I've really, like, I have nothing against the people in the Letters Page Discord. I'm still part of it, but, like, I've very much distanced myself from that.
Yeah, I don't really check it at all anymore.
I mean, honestly, it came around when I was editing the show briefly. That's kind of when I started to separate myself. I was like, okay. I'm really happy with the screen that I mixed up.
White.
Oh no.
It's just for the eyes.
Oh, okay.
So I just gotta like add a dot.
So the weather here has been absolutely unfounded.
Yeah, how so?
Well, earlier this week or on Monday, it was 2 degrees.
That's very cold.
Very cold. And today it was 56.
We've been having a very appropriate weather, which is very odd for.
I was gonna say, which is strange for your area. Like,
that's like with the exception of like 2 random days in October that were like 80 degrees. Like it has been this year's been pretty what you would imagine a standard weather would be.
Yeah. Yeah, when we were down there, it was like, oh, this is just standard. Like this is expected. My aunt and uncle live with some relative closeness to you.
Yeah.
And you know they've traveled up and down a whole bunch this year because they now have 6 grandchildren in the area.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it averages out to 2 per kid, with my two of my cousins having 3 each, and the other one being a lifelong bachelor. Alright, now I gotta do the logo here. Brighter. I don't want to go all the way to Ogre Bogey. I think I went. Make decisions, idiot. Could I go to Warp Swim Glow? Yeah, I can go to Warp Swim Glow. Alright. There's a joke to be made about conversing about weather is totally appropriate for a show called Watching Paint Dry. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, here's a question for you, and chat, please weigh in on this. The song "Walking in the Air," covered by Nightwish, originally from the TV movie The Snowman. I consider that a Christmas song, even though it's about a snowman. It's not about Christmas per se. Am I wrong in that assumption?
I've never heard the song, so I have no idea.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was worried about. Is it might be a little bit too obscure for people to actually know. Although RPD sometimes picks up on my... Yeah, okay. Oh, stop using the bad one. You know what? I'm just going to move this out of the way. Nope, that's a bad place for it. Oh, no. Why are you doing that? Velcro failing me. Okay, that's better. Fine, I'll just leave it where it is. And I'll just put a kombucha cap over it. That's a good idea. Because I was trying to decide whether or not to put Let It Go from Frozen on the on my wacky playlist as covered by I think it's Newfound Glory. And I think, like, I'm leaning toward yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, shake the paint, idiot. Did the music already go out? No.
Let's see.
Or did my headphones go out? Yep,
what's wrong?
My headphones went out. I bumped the volume control on my headphones while shaking paint.
No.
Uh-oh. I don't like that sound.
Okay, I think we're all fine.
Everything is fine. We're all fine here now. You know, I gotta watch the original Star Wars films again. It has been way too long.
It is usually like a yearly watch for me.
It's usually is for me too, and it's just... I think part of it is right before the baby was born, I was watching Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I've watched Mandalorian, I'm caught up on that, but haven't watched Ahsoka yet. But really, like, what I'm craving is the original trilogy. Or more specifically, the first one. Max Darth back out. Trying to waste as little of this as possible is not cheap.
What is it?
The Max Darth, the Super Black.
Oh, yes.
I used on his eyes. There we go. Seems good. All right, I think it's just his base left. I'm pretty happy with this, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good. It's very
really
simple,
awesome.
but the highlighting really punched that up. All right. What was his first appearance, and is there... Yes, there is. Oh, ooh. Okay. Oh, wow. I chose the right base for this.
What happened?
So the first appearance of the Prowler is Amazing Spider-Man 78, and he's actually gripping a brick wall that has a very very specific style.
Uh-huh.
It's not your red or brown brick; it's more of a grayish brick.
Mm-hmm. Like a cinder block?
Yeah. So I'm going to go for that on the bricks that I've got on this base here. I also want to... Man, I wish I had some, like, Necron Gauss coils. Because in his first appearance, he's firing green energy blasts that are really, really cool looking. But unfortunately, I don't have that, so I have to go without. You know what? I'm being an idiot. Also. Yeah. Okay, now I can see a little better what I'm doing. Cool. Alright, let's do this. Let's go with an old classic. Yeah. Steel Legion Drab. I can go to a bigger brush for this too. Where was the one I tried to... Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, it was this one. Okay. It looks like it's black, but yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm starting with brown, and then I'm going to dry brush the gray over the top. I think that'll work pretty well. It'll be a pretty heavy dry brush, though. So my last year, my boss implemented this extra specials block where, so like when the gym teacher's there, the kids get health. When the art teacher's there, they get an extra block of art, you know?
Okay.
So she asked me yesterday, it was yesterday, what I'd like to do for extra tech with 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I said, can we build an arcade cabinet? And she goes, that sounds awesome. I'm like, really? So we're building a Super Metroid cabinet.
That's really cool.
Right? We're going to take apart a Super Nintendo, find a new way to implement buttons, because I want click buttons. I don't want like there was the Super Advanced pad that I could just build into it, but I don't like the buttons on it. I want proper arcade click buttons, you know?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait a minute. I have an idea.
What's that?
Ooh, hold on. Is it Hex-Ray Flame, or am I just going... No, I know exactly what I'm using. I know how I'm going to do the laser effect.
How's that?
Boom.
Green stuff?
Green fluorescent paint.
Fluorescent, okay, yeah.
Just a little tiny dot. Or maybe a little bit of yellow, too. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I got to get creative, but I think it'll work. These are just plating. So, actually, I'm not going to waste 2C Combat paint with that. I'm just going to use Lead Belcher. That's Fire Warrior. Where's my Lead Belcher? There it is. Actual green stuff from green stuff? What new Spore of Madness is this? No, I think my green stuff is from Army Painter. It is, yeah. Things you don't normally see on stream. Because any green stuffing that I'm doing is usually actually not even done in this room. Because that is the kind of thing I can do in the living room while I watch TV. Although it occurred to me the other day, I really need to... I've had a green stuffing project that I've been working on since 2016, maybe, that I haven't finished. It's been a while. And with Warhammer Fantasy coming back very soon, like it's actually been announced now, I need to finish those projects. Because my old Chaos Dwarfs have already received several challenges. I have a project since 2016 I haven't worked on in a long while. Something you and I are not so different. Yeah. It's true, RPD. In fact, I was just saying something to that effect to my wife. I do have to... As we were talking about, I think this morning, I gotta figure out what game I'm playing next on Monday. I might just do, because, like, we're gonna have Monday, and then Friday is maybe, because my in-laws might be coming in, I'm not sure. So it may be just worth doing another SM Arcade or something like that, some kind of one shot until I can properly afford the next game. And by that I mean more than just money. I mean like time to figure it out. If I do Benedict Fox, which I really want to, I want to sit down and try it first, because I don't want another Hollow Knight situation where I just discover that I'd prefer to play it off stream.
Hollow Knight was a good game.
It's a great game, but I like the situation with Hollow Knight was not even that it was hard or that I was confused. It was I kept getting distracted by how beautiful it is. And at the time, also, I wasn't as up on Metroidvania strats as I certainly am now. At the time, the last time I'd played a Metroidvania was, in fact, Super Metroid. And at that point in time, it was a long time before that, because it was when Super Nintendo was actually like the thing. But now I've played many more. And the last case of Benedict Fox is a Lovecraftian Metroidvania, which made me feel like it is very appropriate for our channel here. The other option, as I should note, is Circus Electric, which is a game that RPD and I found. Must have been a couple of years ago now, RPD, right? It's been a minute. But it looked fun and interesting, so give it a shot. Alright, I'm going to hit this with a little melon oil, and then we'll move on to the lasery bits. Usually I do bases with Earthshade, but I really think melon oil is the right call here. If I can find it. Here it is. Let's go harder on that. That's better. Oops, off camera. There you go. Go around it too. Alright, give that a minute. Another option that I was thinking of is to do some of the side quests that I ignored in Gotham Knights. Because, like, they're there, and I was going to do them off camera anyway, so if I have a single stream that I can do them in, might not make the worst. Might not... Words.
Might not be a bad idea.
Might not be a bad... That's the one. Thank you. All right. Fluorescent paint. And a really, really, really fine tip brush. And risk it for the biscuit. Here we go. Oh. Well, it looks like I need my pin, which is always a little concerning, especially when I don't know where it is.
Your pin?
Yeah, I have a, like, if the dropper bottles get clogged, I have a pin.
Oh, yes.
Problem is I can't find it, which probably means I'm going to step on it at some point. It's usually hanging out inside a roll of tape, but said roll of tape was being played with by my daughter this morning, which means I would have taken it out, because at least that's what. Try it this way. I do have a backup bottle of this anyway, so if I need it, I got it.
You alright?
Nope, that just exploded everywhere. I'm gonna glow in the dark tomorrow.
Nice.
That went all over my microphone, and somehow it didn't get on my computer. I'm not really sure how. Green screen's gonna glow in the dark. Good job, it's green paint. Wow, that is our worst spillage ever. Well, Adams was pretty bad.
Yeah, Adams was really bad.
Adams was bad. Where did the tip even go? Like I said, it's a good job I have a backup pot of that one, but
Was that a pot that exploded?
no, that was a dropper bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. There's still some in here. Like, it didn't get all of it, but I don't know where the dropper tip went. Somehow it didn't get on the model. It got on the camera. Missed my mic. Missed the computer, missed the iPad. But it's concerning me that I can't find the dropper tip.
Yeah, you kind of need that.
I'm gonna cut back to my face cam for just a second. How badly did it get on me? I guess it missed most of me. Oh, there it is. I'm also quite astonished that it didn't get on the carpet. I guess it just all got on me. Well, I mean, we've got some on our work tray. I need to find my pin, though. Yeah, there's still some left, so that's good.
Where is the tool I need for this? Put it on the drawer. One of them. There's
See if the yellow does the same thing. I'm really hoping it doesn't. Yep, it's threatening to.
what?
Yellow's threatening to do the same thing the green did. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll be right back. I'm going to clean this up a little bit and get a pin. 2 seconds. Yeah, I'll just leave it for now. I am going to go get a pin.
So on this model, since the Night Sisters are from Dathomir, normally I would paint the like earthy section like a sandy color. But since Dathomir has kind of a reddish sandy color, I am in fact electing to use my Martian Iron Crust to give it like a reddish textured base. So I'm using a sculpting tool to smear it out, essentially. This model has so much thin strands of soap that like to move.
Remote error, you just missed a colossal paint spillage. But I've retrieved the safety pin, and now we're back in business. You were saying about Dathomir?
It's got like a reddish, like the soil kind of a reddish color.
Yep.
So I'm using, instead of what I would normally do, like just like a sand on the like ground parts.
Yep.
I'm using my Martian iron crust.
Ah, nice. Yeah, you want to see the aftermath error? Here.
Well, I've used iron crust before.
That's what just happened.
Oh, aftermath of the paint spill.
Yeah. That is my wet palette right now.
Now,
At least it all went in the wet palette, other than what got in my face. Take the green screen down and wash it. We'll see. Let's try a Tide pen. All right, sorry, I'm rabbiting on here. Where is my... No, Oxide White's not going to do it. Permanent Stone... no. Oh, it's still not dry, so...
I'll work on drawing, and I will start layering out my reds.
I'm going to go take a look at this under the black light, just make sure I got the yellows right. Nope, wrong. Oh my god.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it's fine. It's just the amount of... Hold on, chat. It's fine. It's just the amount of green paint that I got all over myself when I turned the black light on. It's like, duh, everything is green. And I was like, oh. But it looks good on Prowler, so we're good. We're happy.
And luckily the spill didn't get on Prowler.
Yeah. Yes, RPD. That is exactly what's going on. Alright. Still gotta wait for that to dry, so... Decisions need to be made. Yeah, I'm absolutely covered with UV paint right now. It's kind of nuts, but that's fine. Okay. I have had a couple of models on my workbench for years, literal years at this point, and I'm sick of looking at them. Half finished. So I'm going to do it. While I wait for Prowler to dry, I'm going to make some progress on some of these models. My camera go up higher. There we go. Get the whole thing in the shot here. This is a Dreadquake mortar from Warhammer Fantasy. I believe on the very first episode of Watching Paint Dry, I was working on this. So, 100 plus episodes ago. This is when I was doing like camera tests and stuff. So yeah, here we are. And that brush is way too small for what I'm attempting to do. We need a big old brush. You know, I am going to go wash out this wet palette. This is causing problems. Rudy, entertain them for just a minute.
I will do my best. I know I'm not always the most entertaining. I kind of get focused in on what I'm doing that I forget to talk. But I'm excited because this week both Rebel Moon from Zack Snyder and Aquaman 2 come out. So I'm going to have lots of good movies to see. I know that Rotten Tomatoes and stuff is already hating on Rebel Moon. I'm assuming that's just people hating on Zack Snyder in general. I enjoy his movies quite a bit, so I'm sure that will make the viewing more pleasurable for me than it would a common moviegoer. So I'm going to acquire Netflix for a short amount of time in order to watch it, and I'm really looking forward to it. I believe we talked last time about reds. I tend to like them a lot because I find them to be really easy to highlight up, as opposed to like yellow or white. So right now, like the first layer I put on was called not Crusted Sword, Chaotic Red from Army Painter, and now I'm adding in Abomination Gore, and then I plan to add some Dragon Red and top that off with Pure Red. Kind of lightly brushing this in, leaving the lowest recesses as the Chaotic Red, and just slowly working up to a brighter red. You're to the point where you're like almost, in some spots, just dry brushing over with little amounts of pink on the brush. You're back.
Yes, I am back. I return slightly less green. Although my wet palette is still a little bit stained. That's alright. I'm really just, I mean, honestly, of all the things here on my desk, I'm really just happy that none of that got on any of the video game commissions that I've been working on. There's one literally right under where that exploded. Alright, that should be a little bit better. Now, I also know exactly what colors I was using for this, so that makes it easy. We're going to start with Lead Belcher. Yes, RPD pointed out this model we were working on even before Brutality. Alright. And is yet another one that I probably should have painted before building, but I got overzealous and just went with it. I've also done a lot of learning and growing since the last time we were working on this model. Why does angel hair sound familiar, RPD? I mean, other than the fact that it's a pasta. That's a preemptive strike on you, Broody. I knew you'd be the one to make that joke if I let you.
Sorry.
Speaking of, what's the word for someone who's... Is there a word for someone who's afraid of Santa Claus?
Claustrophobic?
There it is. Oh, okay. Thank you, RPD. So something I was not paying attention to, but, like, came across my consciousness. Excuse me. feel like as I paint this, I'm scraping off like 9 years of dust.
Well, we haven't been doing this for 9 years, so if you did this in episode 1, it wouldn't have been that long.
Fair point. You know, it's kind of funny too that they announced Warhammer: The Old World, like as I was trying to figure out when I was going to go down to collectibles and get my my Chaos Dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I guess they can just stay there a little bit longer then, because invariably I will receive challenges, and of course, I also issued one challenge too. My friend Megan and her pointed-eared freaks.
Plays elves.
What?
He plays elves.
She sure does. And it's worth noting she's never won a game against me. Unfortunately, the might of Fireglaive is quite substantial. It's a rifle with a halberd on the end of it.
A rifle with a helmet on the end of it?
A halberd.
Oh, okay.
Although I wouldn't put it past the Chaos Dwarfs to have a rifle with a helmet on the end of it either. They did decide to stuff a demon inside a war machine. That was real bright.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? You had to say it. My students, some of my younger students, saw a Google car the other day with the camera on it for Google Maps.
Uh-huh.
And they were all excited. They came running into my classroom like, "Mr. D, we found a Google car." I'm like, "Oh, great!" I mean, they're updating the pictures of our area, and I was like, "That's cool." And they were like, "Do they have names?" I'm like, "What? What? No." So they decided to name it Jeff.
The car?
The car. Google car is now named Jeff.
I saw one funny post online, like someone found a Google car out in like Saudi Arabia or something.
Mm-hmm.
In my Google car, it was a camel with a 3D camera on the top of it.
Oh, golly. Oh, So I didn't get fired from cookie baking this year,
That's good.
despite making a sanity marker.
That was a neat touch.
Oh, I forgot I posted that to group, to our little Arkham group. It was a Santa Claus that my cousin's kid was like, "Why is there a cookie cutter in the shape of a brain?" And I was like, "Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing with that cookie." I said, "Give it here." I cut out a brain and then cut channels in it, and then it came out. And I was like, "Wait a minute, we've got blue food dye. My mom's gonna have a conniption, but I'm gonna make another cookie to get me fired." Nobody got it, except you and Alex and Sammy. Even my sister was like, "I love you, but that's a stretch." And she was right, to be fair. But I thought it was funny. And Isaac just thought it was funny that I was being weird with the cookies.
Yeah.
At this point, I think Isaac and Ethan have come to expect that I'm going to do something dumb, whether my mom wants me to or not. And Mariah just expects to roll her eyes, which is, I'm sure, what Kara will do when she's old enough also. Alright, let's put that away for now. Let's finish up Prowler here. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Thank you, Remote Air. I appreciate that. Here, I'll even... There it is. It's backwards on the screen, but... my brain cookie. I mean, I generally consider you all my extended Arkham crew. Incidentally, Blank, I'm still trying to figure that one out. Just trying to get everybody in the same room is a nightmare. Gray. Nope, that's browns. Yeah, that'll do. Oh. This is where GW paints actually come in handy.
What?
Dry brushing.
Yes.
Dry brushing out of a dropper bottle, not the easiest task in the world. Hold on. Oh, what's this? Ah! Found one.
What's up?
Found a GW gray that's not dried up or separated.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Sorted. And then lighter color. In Colorado Stone. Push up the edges a little bit. There we go. Loving that all day. Get my blue back for the base ring, and we'll call this one done. Hold on, RPD. I see your post. I'm just reorganizing my desk here. He said, this being despite... And I appreciate your willingness to let me get... I appreciate your willingness to let me get that close to these things. This is despite me being the kind of guy who calls a series where a cartoon rabbit instructs someone how to disassemble it and hide a gun emotionally effective, and I kind of cried. Fair enough. There it is. Shake it. Yeah, I caught that. Same to you. Brush just fell over. I was back talking it.
Did you see the new trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4?
I saw that it's a thing. I have yet to see it because I don't really watch trailers. But
Okay.
I haven't seen the original Beverly Hills Cops.
Really?
Yeah, despite that, I fun fact, I share a birthday with Eddie Murphy. They escaped my radar somehow. And,
They're very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Although I feel like nowadays is something that like they couldn't get away with like anything that they did in those movies.
That's what I'm nervous about. I love movies like The Naked Gun, for example, but they could not do half that stuff anymore.
No. And I feel that's what one of the things I'm worried about. Like if they're making a 4, it's like how much of it's going to be diluted down to the point where it's not really.
It's almost character assassination at that point, rather than. And I've heard whispers of a Rush Hour 4 too, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't have even done 3.
3 was fun. I liked 3. It wasn't as good as 1 or 2, but it was fun.
I've also heard of Lethal Weapon 5, which should not happen.
That should not happen. Good grief, that should not happen. I guess there's a Oceans movie, so it's like Oceans prequel, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, coming out, that George Clooney was talking about the other day. I guess he's EP on it, or something, and I'm all there for that. I guess it's like a Debbie and Danny origin story.
A who?
Danny Ocean and Debbie Ocean origin story.
Who's Debbie Ocean?
Sandra Bullock's character from Ocean's 8.
Okay.
I'm I'm actually really into that. Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie were hilarious in the Barbie movie together.
Mm-hmm.
So more of that, yes, please. But also, like, I guess there's a script for an Ocean's 14.
Oh.
I'm there for that too if they get the whole original cast back. There's Prowler.
Well, you're not going to get Bernie Mac back.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. you can't get him. And I think Carl Reiner's dead too.
Yeah.
So no Saul and no. Yeah, I'm happy with Prowler. I'll get glamour shots of that later, but let's jack this back up to height and get back to work on the Earth Shaker. No Saul, no Frank C. It's a huge bummer. Both great characters. Before I get punchy, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I need... No, not Rackar's Flesh. That's not the right color. Yeah, I can get Beyblade Brown. That's fine. Yeah, so... I mean, the design for Prowler... I mean, look it up, Remote Error. The design for Prowler hasn't changed all that much. Even despite... obviously, it's not Hobie Brown anymore. Hobie Brown... who's Hobie Brown modernly? Rudy, you're more up on this than I am.
No, I'm not. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Hobie Brown is not the Prowler anymore. It's Aaron Davis. But the costume is pretty much identical. It's if you need a reference, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 78. Although that sculpt, yes, definitely intended to be Aaron Davis, even so much as being nicknamed Night Dubstepper by C27 Minis and Train. I'm all about having first appearances in my cabinet. Now, normally I would do largest areas first on a miniature like this, but I'm feeling a little bit punchy and I'm worried that I would make a mistake, so I'm just doing this now. Whilst I'm thinking about it. We're going to get the Mornfang Brown out in a second, too. One of the old washing paint dry staples.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Night Dubstepper. Thank you, whoever thought of that one. Nice to take my head out of comic books for a minute. Work on this. I think I bought this at my second Gen Con. Just got bored halfway through working on it. Not even halfway through working on it, halfway through base coating it.
Oh goodness, it's already almost midnight.
It sure is. Yeah, we're moving here. Time
I
marches
have
on.
lost all track of time.
That's the idea behind doing these in the first place. Slightly more exciting stream tonight with the colossal paint spillage, but all right, what am I doing next? Finish up some of the red. Is this corn red? No, that's green, I think. Here it is. Oh, the God of Arkham is playing Baldur's Gate. Yet one more game that is on my radar and I would love to play, but who actually knows? Like,
Yeah, I would love to play it also, but I would like to play it like co-op with people.
yeah.
And so I either need to get it for my PC,
Mm-hmm.
which wouldn't be bad now that I got an updated one.
Right.
Or wait until PS5 gets the cross-play, not just cross-save.
Right. I was just glad to see that Tears of the Kingdom did not win Game of the Year. That made me very happy. I would have been shouting about things being rigged.
At least it wasn't Starfall or Starfield or whatever.
I didn't have a problem with Starfield. I don't think it deserved it, but I was genuinely on the anything but Tears of the Kingdom train. Man, I always forget, like, Chaos Dwarfs are not tidy creatures. So I can, like, my paint jobs can be insanely lazy on these.
Uh-huh.
Which is almost therapeutic in a way. I just picture there being soot all over everything and just grime and filth. Especially these war machines. It's just like, they've got to be covered with crap. And that just means I can, you know, if I miss a bit here or whatever, you know, I've primed it all black, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. So I guess also something new that's been going on with me is I am building a commander deck for Magic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Just
Commander's
kinda
good.
like-
I like Commander. I just don't play it.
Yeah, and it's not like to be competitive or anything. It's just to, like, I have a coworker who plays Magic and stuff, and it's just something for us to do during lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I'm not getting like all like these amazing $30, $40 cards and all that nonsense. But I found like a special release of for my commander I'm using Tomb Raider.
Oh, cool.
Because they released like a special pack of like 10 cards.
Yeah. Um, back when Commander was first starting out, I had a couple of decks that I would build with, like, we'd be waiting for drafts to fire or whatever, and we'd just theorize about Commander. And my buddies and I built an all legendary deck, mono green, all legendary.
That seems excessive.
Yep, it was stupid. We actually put it together too. Just because we could. There's a part of me that does miss drafting, but like, you know, playing Magic every week, but I didn't like who I was becoming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was consuming more Magic in a week than I was my own job. Whether I was playing or listening to podcasts or watching streams or, you know, doing card research and math and theorizing and play testing and all kinds of other stuff. And I was like, man, who even am I? Like, I miss...
Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I miss like going to sports events and stuff. Going to concerts. Like, I'm spending all my disposable income on this cardboard.
Yeah, that was my problem, is like, I'm too obsessive.
Yeah.
About things, and so it's like I was constantly trying to get full play sets of every card in a set, and like it's like I had to have like everything, and it was just way too much money spending for how little, or I wasn't, like, I was playing a decent amount, but not like enough, and I wasn't doing good enough to warrant, like, I wasn't on like a pro tour or anything where I could like make some of that money back, or
yeah.
So it was just like not worth it.
No, same. Like, I was, you know, I could take down a tournament, but like, and I mean, I did fairly regularly, but like, eventually I just got to the point where I was just like, man, I just want to play something else. And the option was D&D at the time, and, you know, I've since given up on that too, but not for the same reasons. It's just like, I just don't have time.
I'm just about done with Mother Talzin.
Nice.
I'm just highlighting, touching up a few spots.
Nice.
Or I think I would call her complete.
Nice. I'm just gonna do one last spot.
Just on time too.
Yeah. This last little plate sorted out. All right, that's good enough for now. Plenty more to do on this still, but I feel a little bit better having made some progress on it. Good toileting here. All right. Well, yeah. Throw my brush on the floor. There we go. All right. Finished product for today was ye olde Prowler, who came out pretty darn okay. I'll zoom the camera in here. Maybe. There it is. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's pretty good. which I guess leaves us to just say thank you all for tuning in tonight. This has been an absolute blasty. Broody and I really appreciate you hanging out with us and choosing to spend your Saturday night watching us watch paint dry. I will be back on the channel on Monday playing something. I have no idea what at this moment, but we will see. I will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we should be back. Are you good for Saturday next week, Mike?
I should.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just trying to think of what I got going on.
Yeah. So we should be good. We should be back on Saturday. I'll have another superhero character to do. And then, we can fill time by working on this ridiculous Warhammer mini. Actually, I've got several that need work on. I got this guy here as well. Same situation, just got bored of doing metal plating. But I do have these little guys over here too. I might do them at some point. This has been a blast. In the meantime, tune into This Is Difficult podcast tomorrow night at 8 on Ryugami-san channel. We'll be talking about the Game Awards and all kinds of other stuff. And in the meantime, I will catch you on Monday. Be safe, be well, and take care. Bye.
See ya.